the previous class, we have discussed on the transfer and the transport aspect, and then we have discussed on the different house collection system, that is house to house collection system, or the collection service we have seen in the last class. In that we have covered on the curb service, alley service, then backyard service, set out and setback service, and then lastly we have studied regarding the set out services. Okay, then all these particular methods, whatever we have discussed in the previous class, it is for the residential areas which is going to have the colonies, or where the many number of houses are there on ground. Now we will see how the waste collection will be done if the person or the people if they are going to stay in the apartments. Okay, for such kind of an apartment, since it is going to have the many number of floors, each and every time if the person, there is no need to for the people who are staying on the different floors, then there is no need to come at each and every time whenever the collection vehicle is going to come on a day-to-day basis. They need not to come at the downstairs. Okay, for that how they can have the waste disposal system in their apartment is, we will be having the provision called as the garbage chutes is made for that particular purpose. Now what is this exactly the garbage chute is? Okay, in multi-storied building, the waste are usually bagged and placed by the tenants in specially designed vertical chutes. It is called as usually the vertical cellular chutes. We will be using it with the openings located on each floor. Okay, here this is what the arrangement we will be using for the apartments. This is the enlarged section what I have shown, and here at the corner of one building, at one particular corner of a building, we will be having these particular chutes. Okay, so here what is this collection chute is? It is going to have 12 to 13 6-inch dia pipe, which is going to have the opening at each floor. Okay, here somewhere here, okay, at all these, at each and every floor there will be an opening will be provided. In this opening, what we are going to do is, here one opener will be there which is going to have the bottom hinge and all. Okay, with the help of the, here one door will be there which is supported with the help of a hinge. We are going to open it whenever the waste which has been bagged into the dustbin, or from dustbin directly we are going to throw from dustbin we will be directly depositing the waste into this particular opener, or we will make the solid waste bags and we will be throwing it into the in this particular intake door. Then what will happen is, the here at each directly it is going to, if the person is here and if he opens and if he pull down the solid waste whatever he has, directly it is going to come through all these through this particular pipe, and it is going to be collected into the container which is present at the basement. Okay, which is present at the basement, which is going to be collected. So each and every floor such a opening will be there at each and every floor. So there is no need to collect the waste, and each and every day the person need not to come downside in order to dispose the waste into the vehicles what we are going to come for the collection of the waste. So this provision will be there in case of the multi-storied building or in the apartments. So such kind of arrangement will be there in order to benefit the tenants. So such an arrangement we call it as the garbage chute. It is going to have 12 to 36-inch dia pipe. Okay, and it is going to have the intake door which is going to supported with the hinge. So this is how we will transfer the waste in case of the multi-storied building. Directly whichever floor the tenants are staying, from there they are going to throw the solid waste into these chutes, and it is going to be collected at the basement container. And then from this particular basement container, this collection vehicle will come and they will collect the waste from this container vehicle, and wherever they need to take and dispose it, or a processing unit, they will be going and they will be dumping it. So this is the provision for the multi-storied building. Now the next step what we are going to cover is the layout of collection routes. That is, how the collection vehicle, the solid waste collection vehicle, from the point of its collection to the disposal site, how it should be moved on, that we will be seeing under this particular topic, that is the layout of collection route. Okay, in this we needed to fix up, we will be having some 4 steps in this, that is how we needed to have the layout. In this, in the step 1 of the layout, the layout is going to help that how the collection vehicle, in order to collect and dispose the waste day to day, how it has to move. But before having this collection route, we need to have some of the investigation. This particular investigation has been discussed in this particular topic. In the first step, on a large map of a locality, the following the data should be collected if we want to have the layout. Now in this, the location of container, okay, then the collection frequency, then a number of container with the size, and the estimated quantity of waste in that particular area, how much, all these things has to be worked out. For a smaller area which is going to have 20 to 30 pickup points, there is no need to divide the area into the smaller areas. For smaller areas, what we need to have is, we need to have divide that particular larger area into the some smaller sections, and then we need to have the first, that is the collection of the layout, and then we need to have all these, we need to gather all these particular information. Okay, now how this is going to help us? Okay, now here wherever, depending upon the container, your collection frequency, depending upon the number of container and the size. Now suppose if the quantity of waste that particular area, if it is going to be generated, it is very very small, then probably there may be no need to have in a single day 2 to 3 times in a single day, there is no need to have the collection. So in all these particular areas, we can have only one time collection system. So this is how it is going to prevent the man force in the step 1. In the step 2, determine the number of pickup locations requiring the multiple pickups during the week and enter the information on a large spreadsheet. Then what we need to have is, start listing with the locations requiring the highest number of pickups per week. So here what we need to do is, we need to have the, we need to identify the localities where the multiple type of pickups are required per week. That has to be determined. Then in the third step, what we need to have is all the collecting information, the route should be laid out such that it is going to connect all the pickup points to the to be served during each collection day. Then the next step is to modify the basic route to include the additional container for each day's collection. Okay. In third step, what it is saying is, now on a large map we have the different types of cities. On a large map we are having the different type of areas we have divided. Okay, so suppose here one area, here one area, here one area, and here one area, or something like that. Okay, now we should have the momentum of the collection vehicle such that all pickup points should be covered. Okay, once the vehicle is going to start its starting point, it should cover all the locations, and ultimately after covering all the locations, it should reach the disposal site. Okay, none of the pickup points should never be escaped whenever we are going to have the whenever we are going to move the collection vehicle. So this is the meaning of the third step. Okay, in the fourth step, what we are going to have is, when the preliminary routes have been laid out, that is we have laid out how we need to move, the average distance between the container should be computed. Okay, the average distance between the container should be computed, and if the routes are unbalanced with respect to the distance, that is, if the distance between the two collection point, okay, we will be, if these are the two different collection point, if the difference between the two collection point is going to be be more than 15%. Okay, if the distance is between these 2 points, if it is more than 15%, then what we should do is we should again redraw the layout so that each route covers approximately the same distance. That means whenever we need to move the vehicle between the 2 points, the average distance between the 2 points should not be more than it should not be have the variation more than 15%. In general, a number of collection routes must be tried before the final ones are going to be set up. Okay, after the routes have been established, they have to drawn on a large map. Okay, what after once we decide the routes, the collection point, collection frequency, then the frequency, how much in a day or in a week, how many times they needed to have the collection system. After working out, we need to draw all these right from starting point till the end point, including the number of pickup points. We need to draw it on a large map, and we need to fix up the final locations. Okay, so this is regarding the layout of a collection route. Now in your exam, this particular question may be asked like determine what are the criteria to have the layout of collection system or the collection route. This particular question may be asked in your exam, and it may be asked for around say 6 to 8 marks in your main examination. Then you need to write in detail regarding these all 4 steps when we write regarding the layout of collection routes. Now we will discuss regarding the type of collection system, and the last, don't get confused between the collection system and the collection service. Okay, the curb service, alley service, then your set out and the setback service, all these are nothing but the collection services. Okay, and here we call this as the collection. In collection systems, we will be having 2 types, that is the hauled container system and the stationary container system. The hauled container system, we usually use the short form of it, that is HCS, and the stationary container system, we use the short form as SCS. Now we will see what is hauled container system. This is a system in which the containers are used for the storage of waste are hauled to the processing, transfer and disposal site and returned to either their original location or the some other location are defined as the hauled container system. In this particular system, the hauled container system, whatever the storage container wherever we are going to collect the waste, right? Now what we are doing in this particular system is the truck or vehicle, whatever vehicle, the larger vehicle, whatever it comes to collect the vehicle, it is going to be coming to the collection point. Okay, then this particular filled solid waste container, we will be shifting it to the larger truck. Okay, now this truck, what it will do is it is going to the disposal site, that is either transfer station or your material recovery facility. This MRF stands for material recovery facility. It dump all the waste here, and again it is going to return back to the same place, and it is going to whatever the container we have brought, again it is going to place that particular container over here, and then again it goes to the next place. Then what it will do is again it is going to take that solid waste material, and it is going to dump the waste over here, and then again it is going to come from here, again it is going to move to the next place. Here again it collects the waste, again it is going to come to the material recovery facility, then again it is going to start its journey. Then again, like this, n number of points it is going to cover, and at last what it does is it is going to the dispatch station. Here, why we call this as an hauled container system is the container, whatever it is going to be filled, it is in continuously, it is in motion, it is coming to the disposal site, and then again it is going to be placed at the same place. So this is how it is in a continuous motion. So for that reason, what we are going to do is we will be continuously moving it. So that is the reason why we call this particular system as the hauled container system. In this system, we will be using usually that Usually the system, the containers like the hoist truck, which is going to have the capacity of around 1 to 1.5 to 9 meter cube. Then we will be using the tilt frame system, which is going to have the hydraulic support to it. Then a trash trailer, okay, similar to the tilt frame. In most of the hauled container system, a single collector or come driver is used. Rarely, for safety reasons, driver and helper are going to be used in this particular system. So this is, we call it as the hauled container system. In the next system is your stationary container system. In this system, the containers used for the storage of waste remain at the point of, I'll repeat, this system, the containers used for the storage of waste remain at the point of waste generation except when moved for the collection are defined as the stationary container system. Okay, here what happens is, this is the layout of your stationary container system. Here what we exactly we do is, the empty vehicle which is going to come from garage, okay, here it is going to take this particular waste material or container, and it is going to dump into the truck what it is going to have. Then after dumping the waste into the trucks, again the container will be kept at its own place. Then again the vehicle will be moving to the next place. Again here one filled container will be there. Again it is going to be emptied into the truck, and the empty container will be placed again at its own place. Then again third, your next location also, again we are going to do the same thing. The filled container we are going to place into the waste, it is going to be dumped into the truck, and the empty container will be placed. So like this we will be practicing for n number of location, and ultimately what we are going to do is, ultimately all the waste will be collected once in a truck, and then the waste is going to be brought to the landfill site, and then it is to be thrown over there. Then the drive empty collection vehicle to the beginning of the next location, or it is going to or it may return to the dispatch station at the during the end of the day. So this is how the hauled and stationary container system is going to be divided. Okay, the hauled and the stationary the question, there will be there is a good amount of possibilities there that this question is going to get arise in your main exam. They may ask you, explain the types of collection system, or differentiate between the hauled container system or stationary container system. This type of a question may be asked in your main exam. Now both the systems, the hauled container system and the stationary container system, is going to have the problems on both these, that we are going to discuss in the next class. In today's class, we have discussed on the garbage chutes, okay, garbage chute, then the collection of your layout of collection routes. Then we have discussed on the hauled container system and the stationary container system. Thank you.